Hi y'all, Logan here with another video. Today, I got something cool to show you. This is the brand new for 2022 Light and Sound Pumpkin by Seasonal Visions International, sold exclusively at Cracker Barrel. This is another one of their humongous pumpkin props they have made that has some really cool light features and sound features. This is kind of a pricier one at, I think it was $59.99 or $49.99, somewhere within that range. Basically, it lights up and plays a spooky soundtrack. It is the Pumpkin Patch Prowler soundtrack, but it's a full one with the Happy Halloween phrase at the very end that Prowler did not have. This is a pretty nice little prop. It's kind of a cutesy little pumpkin, which is kind of a contrast to Grimacing, which is kind of funny because these are by the exact same company. So I have mine going in constant, but kind of a neat thing about this, I'll turn them around, as you can see, is it has a volume control. So I have it turned all the way down and done by my hands. I've been painting. So you can actually kind of hear them still. It is kind of hard to turn. There we go. So yeah, it has that Happy Halloween at the end, and then it has the 3 modes: the off, the sensor, and the steady on. And it looks like this is weather rated because it has that weather protected switch on it. And it takes 4 C batteries, which are really expensive. But I'm assuming they give it kind of a longer life so it can last all season. It's got this kind of nice flicker effect. As you can see, it's not as subtle as Grimacing, but it's still there. It's more kind of in your face. As you can see, it is pretty nice. Its motion sensor is right up there, and the motion sensor is pretty sensitive, and it is motion only. It does not have the sound sensor. I try to mess with that already. It's got a kind of a weird, like, almost like an orange rind texture on it. It's still meant to be more of a fresh pumpkin, but when I saw this texture up close, I thought more of an orange than I did a pumpkin. Maybe it's just me, but I got more of orange vibes from that texturing that they did. And it's not super noticeable either. The paint job is not like anything insane. The paint job's cute. I mean, it's there. The stem's got a nice paint job. It's got the, I don't know if you would call it like the blushing along like the crevices of the pumpkin, you know, like they usually have. But like the little pores and stuff, they didn't really paint in like they would have done. But again, it's not like a rotten, like gross, decayed pumpkin like a lot of the pumpkin props that I own personally that are more detailed have. So, like, it's not, I don't know if it really needed to be more detailed. I mean, I guess I would have given it kind of a dirtier appearance since pumpkins really aren't the most clean crop in the patch, if you know what I mean. I'd never had a pumpkin that was perfectly clean before. I don't really clean mine when I carve them. I just go in it with the knife and just, you know. I mean, for what it is, it's cute. It's a cutesy little item. I wanted to have something more in my pumpkin patch, and I wanted to have something a little more kid-friendly in there as well. You know, instead of just all of them being scary and spooky-looking pumpkins, I thought I would settle for something a little more kid-friendly, so I went for this. Like Grimacing, it has that shimmery film in the inside of the face, and you see how it moves kind of with my camera, and it does do that in person too. It's really pretty, and it gives the lighting this really nice effect as well. There's really not a whole lot more to say. Everything's on the back instead of it being on the bottom like Grimacing, because Grimacing is not outdoor rated, but this one is, which is just so weird to me. I don't really understand the whole thought process behind that, but it's kind of the whole thing right here, and it does have the Seasonal Visions International Limited stamp on that. So it is for sure Seasonal Visions, for those of you who might doubt that. And yeah, that's really all there is to it. Again, it's a simple item. It's very expensive, but it's Cracker Barrel. I've really never known them to be cheap. And I wanted to have more pumpkins in my patch. I like that you can turn down the volume all the way. I don't know if the plaques are like that, like the skull, the pumpkin, the gargoyle, and all those. But I'm glad this one is like that. Let me kind of push this back a little more. I just want to turn around. But I'm glad you can have it on a mute. I wish the constant option that the lights didn't turn off and they would continue going. But it is what it is. You can kind of get a side view. It's kind of weird from the side. It looks kind of flat. I kind of wish it went for a more of a like full rounded pumpkin. Kind of like a traditional stereotypical pumpkin, I would say, but it's still nice. And again, it is pretty large. It's not as big as Grimacing, but it kind of competes with it. It's like number 2. You know, it's got the width of Grimacing, but not the height, if that makes sense. So there's that. I mean, if you want a cute little pumpkin for your porch, this is kind of it. But it's definitely not a budget item. I will say that it's not budget friendly in the slightest. If you want like something a little more creepy, I would go for Grimacing. I think the audio for this too is a little unfitting, as it's got that super deep kind of classic Mike Reynolds voice. I think that's Mike Reynolds that did this, which I think is kind of weird, but I'm not going to be using it with the audio. It's just going to be like this. So it's really not a big concern for me. But yeah, that's really all for this. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below. I mean, I recommend it for those of you who like pumpkins or like Seasonal Visions or just need kind of a filler, because it's a good filler, which is what I'm using it for. You know, I like having just ground covered in my pumpkin patch. That's my goal every year. I get more and more and more pumpkins every single season. My goal is to have a pretty dense pumpkin patch and get some vines to lay out on the ground and stuff that look fairly realistic. But this is kind of the start of something bigger. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And while you're at it, definitely turn on the notification bell. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.